Thanks for tuning in to the Pure Advocates. I'm your host, Muhammad Olo, and today we have a special guest. He goes by the name of Abdi, aka Stretch.
It's my pleasure joining Pure Advocacy as a guest. My brother Muhammad Alo, and
Hey,
quite flattered.
why they call you Stretch, bro?
Man, I grew 19 inches from 8th grade all the way down to adulthood, and just every year I grew 3-4 inches. And one of my teachers was like, man, look at you over here stretching over another year, and I got taller than him. As soon as I got taller than him, he just stuck with the name Stretch, and everybody in the neighborhood, everybody in their moms call me Stretch.
Mashallah, that's dope, man. I could see that, bro. Your knees can't even fit under the table, bro.
Yeah, man, I
You
ain't
gotta
nothing
scoot
built
a
for
little
me.
bit back. All right, man. Let's get into it, man. So, this is my first episode titled "Drug Use and Gang Violence," and I want to talk about what inspired me to start podcasting, right? So, one of the most important thing that inspired me to start podcasting is, the epidemic of drug use and gang violence in our communities, and it's not just in Seattle. I feel like it's on a global scale. If you look at every big city in the world, North America and Europe, you got a lot of these young guys, growing up, from a teenager, and adopting these bad habits. And, we have a lot of but like personally, I have a couple of friends that I lost to drug overdose, and it's very sad, so I feel like standing up and speaking out is most important at this moment, and so let's get into it, bro. Let's dive in, bro. We're not gonna play no games, bro.
Well, let's get it, man.
So the first topic is drug use, man. So I see a lot of young brothers, what I'm saying? I'm not gonna, put nobody down or shame anybody. I see a lot of young brothers in the community, and they adopt these bad habits at a young age. We don't know why. I don't know why. I feel like there's a huge disconnect, from like the older and the younger generation. And so we want to know, the world wants to know, how does it start? Like, how does a young brother wake up one day and just decide, look, man, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to do that. I'm going to try it. I'm going to pop these pills. I'm going to drink this syrup. Like, how does that happen, bro?
It usually starts from the home, man. And me being born and raised out here, there's not that many people you could look up to and be like, hey, man, I'm going to talk to him about my problems. And yeah, man, I'm getting bullied at school and I can't, speak English as good as well as everybody else. And seeing everybody progress in school and move forward, and you're just stagnant, and then you look back, your parents is just surviving, they're just working, trying to make ends meet, trying to pay bills, make sure you got clothes on your back, you're fed, and there's just survival mode, survival mode means the needs before the wants,
Facts.
and when you see other kids using it as escape, you don't really realize what's going on in their houses, you just, man, it's cool, you literally, his mom is a crackhead, his dad is a crackhead, you know what I'm saying, and he's just depressed because the eviction notice on the door. There's a lot of things going on. And some folks, they don't realize the severity of most kids' households before they try to do it themselves, Right. Some cats have a good household where their mom is working every single day and their dad is busting, just working every single day, and it comes back with the money and they got nice clothes, they got shoes, they got everything. And then the other kid is over here like, man, I haven't got bread to eat, So it's like, he sees it as a coping mechanism to all his problems. He sees it, hey, man, I got to smoke the dope. I got to drink the alcohol. I got to sip on the lean. You know what I'm saying? Perks numb me. Let me get on that real quick. See, and then it just starts escalating. Next thing you know, you're on the dog food. You're on heroin. You know what I'm saying? And once you get on the heroin, you're just straight gone. You know what I'm saying? And you become a zombie. There's people I grew up with that had everything in the world. Like I used to look at, and some of us envied them. Like their dads over here coaching them in sports and taking them to all these baseball camps, live in a nice neighborhood, nice house, and maybe there's a disconnect in the house. Maybe they seen things that we don't see, and I don't know.
I feel like, a lot of these young guys, they do what they do and they adopt these bad habits because of peer pressure. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, whatever your peers are doing at the moment, that's what you're supposed to do. And if you're not doing it, it's like you're not cool, man. You don't fit in. You're nobody. You know what I mean? Speak on that, bro.
So peer pressure, my view on peer pressure, me growing up, I had a diverse setting of friends. I never kicked it with one group. I'm Somali at the end of the day, and I just didn't kick it with just only Somalis. I had Asian friends. I had white friends. I had Mexican friends. I had Samoan friends. Right. And I had a diverse circle so I could pick and choose. Right. And me, growing up, when it comes down to school, you having all these different circles, you have options, you know what I'm saying? And some kids don't have options, and when they don't have options, what happens? They stick to the group that they know at the end of the day, hey, man, they've been here the whole time. I don't got nobody else, and Come on, Michael, man. Michael, I've known him since I was in diapers, you know? So it's like, I can't really hate off him. I can't say, you know, I'm not going to mess with Michael, you know?
Right.
And school, I was a bright student, you know? I did schoolwork. I took it serious, you know? Right. And I didn't like school, but, you know, my mom was like, yo, got to get better grades. It's like every other parent, you know? So as long as I was smarter than the people that was in my circle. So I had a group of friends. If I had higher grades than them, I felt like I was the Asian kid with a 4.0 going to Harvard, you know? So it's like, so it's like, hey, man, I'm smarter than them. I can't be that bad, you know? I can't be that bad. But there's bigger. You could have done bigger. You know what I'm saying? I see the AP student who's going to be the valedictorian. I could have competed with him. You know, I could have said, hey, I want to be going to Harvard. I want to go to Columbia. I want to go to Stanford, you know? But your circle will limit you based on how they view life. You know what I'm saying? It's perspective, you know? Right. And not everybody has a different perspective than you. Everybody has a different perspective than you. Like, I look at it as one of my white friends at the end of the day. His parents are educated. You know, when they're educated, they're like easily giving you resources to get to where you need to get. And it's like, hey, son, what do you want? Do you want to be a doctor? Do you want to be an engineer? I'm an engineer, you know? Or do you want to be a chemical engineer? I could get you there, you know? It's pretty easy when they can hold your hand to the promised land, you know? And it's like,
open up saving account for your kids at a young age.
And you don't think too hard about it, you know? So it's like, man, look, my parents graduated high school, came here and started working. Right. You know, they had me and bam, they have 6 kids. And now it's like survive. Now I got to feed, unclothe all these kids. I got to make sure they're productive members of society. And that kid is like, hey, man, I'm going to Disneyland. And I didn't know what Disneyland was. I don't know what vacation was because you have to afford it, you know? So it's like most kids can't afford it. So it's like they envy those kids. But those kids, they had the circle to get them where they need to get. And then when you look at the other kids in the neighborhood, I grew up in front of a crack house, you know what I'm saying? I used to wake up crackheads off my porch, you know? So it's like it was a norm for me. But then when you go to the other side of the water, you go towards Alki, they live in nice houses, you know. The mayor lives there, you know, and their parents are doctors, lawyers, and stuff. I went to Chief Sealth International High School. At that time.
That's in West Seattle, right?
Yeah, it's in West Seattle.
Shout out Chief Sealth.
Exactly, you know what I'm saying? And my little brothers went to West Seattle High School, and there was a totally different world over there. It was day and night, you know. And when I was growing up, it was like less than 10% white, you know what I'm saying? 10, 15% white, you know? So it's like now it's 40 plus, you know, probably, you know, because it's an international school, more funding, the IB program, and there's more programs to get by. And I seen those programs and I benefited from them. I went to Greece, I went to Turkey, you know, and my counselor was like, hey, man, do you want to go to Greece and Turkey? I was like, you're tripping, man. There's no way I'm going to go to Greece and Turkey. He goes, do you have a passport? I was like, yeah, I got a passport, you know? And he goes, give me 3 paragraphs on why you deserve this scholarship. You know what I'm saying? Scholarship. I was like, okay. That's all I have to do. You're going to submit it, and you're telling me I'm going to get a scholarship to go down there. He goes, that simple. I was like, okay, Mr. Kumasaka, I'm going to try it out. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I don't want to write the 3 paragraphs because I feel like at the end of you're bullshitting me, you know? So he goes, come back after the next day. Come back, I get submitted. He gives me a 70% or 85%. It was an 80% scholarship to go to Greece and Turkey. Next, you know, spring break, I'm on a plane going to Greece, man. I'm in Athens over here seeing the Acropolis, and I've seen a whole different perspective on school because now my school's an international school, you know? And then my little brothers, which is predominantly white, most privileged kids go to that school, you know? And that whole neighborhood is lawyers, doctors, and engineers, and productive members of society, you know what I'm saying? Career, so that people will look at it and be like, hey, I would like to be in that position. And most of those kids at the end of the day, they didn't have to worry about sports. Like there's kids at the end of the day that tell them, hey, the only way you can get out of here is you playing basketball. You dancing, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You singing like Chris Brown and dancing, you're going to get somewhere, you know?
Or being a rapper, you know what I'm saying? I feel like in our community, we're only limited to a few things, you know, athlete, rapper, and, you know, just whatever, trapper, you know what I mean? But I feel like, you know, this world, it's like, you know, it's endless, man. It's endless opportunities, man. You could literally do anything you want, you know what I'm saying? And so, yeah.
You just got to put your mind to it, man. You just got to put your mind to it. Everything, your mind is the strongest muscle. Mm-hmm. Everybody talks about, you know what I'm saying, physicality and everything. Say that again. Say it
again.
Your mind is the strongest muscle. Mm-hmm. Why? Because at the end of the day, the moment you believe that it's not possible, you wither away. You know what I'm saying? You wither away because you gave that mindset to yourself and now you're living with it. You know what I'm saying? It becomes your reality, you know?
Facts.
And all those kids I've seen that are privileged and are going to be productive members of societies, their confidence and their morale was built. You know, it's like you can be what you want to be. You know, you want to fly? Man, we can go to flight school, you know what I'm saying? We could get you into a program where you can become a pilot, you know? It's that simple. Right. But how many people in our neighborhood, in our communities, then think like, you could become a pilot. You could become a doctor.
Nobody.
You could become an engineer. You could become an astronaut.
Nobody.
Because you have to have somebody within that circle or group to be able to do it. If I had a lawyer that's behind me saying, hey, I could teach you to become a civil, a civil lawyer, a business lawyer, a corporate lawyer, you know, I could teach you to be an accountant. I could teach you how to do this. Now you have the confidence because you have somebody just like you. And at the end of the day, it's not easy listening to somebody that's not like you, doesn't have the same background as you. You know, it's like, it's like a guy coming up to you. He's like, yeah, man, I lived in a fat mansion. I'm going to teach you how to make some money and do all this other stuff. But he doesn't understand my home life. He doesn't understand what my struggles are. And he'll never understand, you know? And it's like, you can't expect hell of things out of that person because you feel like you can't open up to the max, you know? But if there's community members like came back, let's say the cats that come in the neighborhood and stuff, that became successful, came back and said, hey, look at me. I didn't live over here.
I feel like a lot of successful people don't reach back. You know what I'm
saying?
They
don't.
Like, a lot of successful people, they don't reach back to the community and, you know, like, hey, bro, like, this is how you do it, man. You got to get this certification or you got to get this training or you got to do this. Like, nobody gives the youth the platform. I mean, the blueprint. You know what I'm saying? Nobody does that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we need to engage with the youth and kind of like reach out and just, you know, when you see them at the restaurant or, you know, wherever you see them, just, you know, if you know them personally, just talk to them. Not just say, hey, what's up, bye. You know, just like talk to them. What are you doing right now? What are you up to? Are you in school? Like, you know, what's your interest? Like, what are you learning this? Okay, well, there's a program here, or you could get certification here, or you can, you know, jump in this boot camp, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we need to engage with the youth more in a way where they can benefit, not just, you know, hey, hi, bye kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you sharing all that information, bro. And let's jump to the right. Let's jump right next to withdrawals. You know, so the epidemic of opioid drug use, right? I feel like if a lot of young guys, you know, if they knew the consequences that come along with taking these drugs, a lot of them, like, I don't think a lot of them would have done it, bro. To be honest with you, like, okay, so let me list all the withdrawals real quick, right? All the withdrawals for opioids, right? Muscle aches, restlessness, anxiety, runny nose, excessive sweating, inability to sleep, yawning, diarrhea, abdominal cramping, goosebumps, nausea and vomiting, you know what I'm saying, rapid heart rate, high blood pressure. These are all things that affect you when you don't have the drugs. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy, bro. Like, talk about that. Like, I want to ask you, like, I'm not saying you know anybody that's, you know, that has an addiction right now, but
I actually do know a lot of people that have addiction, you know, and it got the best of them, you know. Like I said, there's people that were privileged that got it on it, you know, and there's people that were in car accidents, the people that got sick, you know. There's people, and I'm gonna be honest with you, there's people that go out their way to go get it, and there's people that go to the hospital and get it prescribed, and then they cut them off. And when they cut them off, they go too far off the deep end because now the withdrawals you were staying, you know, they didn't expect it to happen, and now the insurance cuts them off. What is he supposed to do? He starts itching, he starts tweaking out, and he's like, yo, man, I gotta get it, you know. And then next you know, he's robbing cats, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, he has to do it now because
that's a good point right there.
He's robbing, he has to do it.
Speak on that.
There's a difference between need and want.
Right.
When you need it, it's like when you're eating, you know what I'm saying? You're drinking water, you're breathing, you know, it's a need.
Right.
And then once it's like, yo, man, I want the fresh pair of J's. I want the Mercedes. I want the fat crib on the hills. You know what I'm saying? I want those.
Speaking to the mic.
I want those, you know? So it's like all those things distinguish between those two. It's like need and want. When you're on the drugs, you're going to need it. Same way you need to eat, drink, breathe. You'll skin your own mom. Cats rob their parents. Cats lost friendships, you know, scholarships because of depression. You know, they got depressed and bam, they got onto that. You know, next thing you know, that's out of the way their scapegoat, you know. Right. And when you're in your head and you don't have nobody to talk to, you feel like you have to numb yourself. You have to go elsewhere because you can't go nowhere, you know?
Right.
Your back is against the wall, and where else can I go? This pill is easy.
Right.
This Copaline is easy. This alcohol is easy. There's alcohol withdrawals. Like, you drink too much alcohol, your liver can't take it, where your liver has to need the alcohol because if you take it all the way off, you probably could die, you know? And it's severe. Like, it's very severe, you know? And I had a guy that I knew who could have been in the major leagues. Like, he could have been a baseball player. Like, just that easy. He was that good, you know? And now, when you see him, he's a schizophrenic meth head. And it's like, it's so much potential. And now, on the street, tweaking out. Right. And how do you help that person, you know? How do you engage the guy's not there. Like, when you're not mentally there, it's not easy to go and say, man, this is my friend. Like, let me go talk to him, because he's not there. He don't see you the same, you know? He'll never see you the same as he did before. Like, he's all the way off the deep end.
Right.
And how do you help these people? Like, how do you engage conversations with them? If a person is like a productive, you know, drug habits, you know, he's productive though. He still goes to work. He still goes to school. He still bathes and cleans himself. Those are productive ones. You know, they just let their habits slowly, you know, get the best of them. And then there's guys that all the way, 100%. I got to down myself with these drugs, and there's no other way I'm going to live, you know?
At some point, like, a lot of people don't realize, you know, while they're taking the drugs, like, they get to a point where it's like they're about to overdose, but they don't know that. And so it's like they need to get that high. You know, they need that high again. So when they get it, it's like sometimes they're taking these pills by, you know, a dozen a day, you know, because their tolerance level is so high. And that's I think that's how a lot of overdoses happen. Is just you keep taking these drugs, and you know, like, your tolerance goes up.
But you don't know who you're getting
over
it
the
from.
limit. You don't even know you're going over the limit.
But you don't know who you're getting it from.
Huh?
That's the thing. You don't know who you're getting it from. Like, right now, it's not like you're going to a pharmacy.
Everything is laced now.
Like, if you go to the pharmacy, like, right now, I can go to like, hey, I want this drug at the end of the day, and they see a prescription, bam, they got the insurance, they'll give it to you. Right. And you know it's legit because there's standards on that, you know? And then there's the street pharmacists out there who's stepping on this stuff, and next thing you know, you got fentanyl. You know, I got a friend who OD'd, you know what I'm saying? And he got saved. He almost swallowed his tongue, foaming and everything, and his friend sold him the drug. And it's that severe, you know? And it's like now people want to make a buck over their brothers, you know what I'm saying, or their friends, their cousins, you know, and they lose morality and principles that they lived by, and they don't have none of that no more because they're numb. You know, they're so numb that everybody's a target, everybody's a come up, and guess what? If he dies, he dies. If he comes back, even better. My pocket's getting fatter, you know?
About the profit, huh? There's an herb that I've been taking, you know, for about a year now. It's helped me lose a lot of weight. You know, it just helped me in so many different ways, and it's called sea moss, right? You can mainly find it in the Caribbean islands. You know, it's some places in Africa, and so it has 92 out of the 102 minerals that your body needs, right? So let me list all the vitamins that it has, and, you know, nutrients. So zinc, iodine, amino acids, vitamin C, vitamin A, antioxidant minerals, helps you reduce inflammation, helps your body get rid of excess mucus. It's very good for your respiratory health. You know, it gets rid of bad bacteria in the gut, and it increases your digestive health. And so you could also use it for face mask, and, you know, it's a lot of celebrities, a lot of people that use it on a daily basis. It really helps. You know, you know, a lot of Somali parents, you know, if you have diabetes, you know, it calms down. It brings your blood sugar levels down. Regulates and all that. So try it out. You know, I have a company that sells it, you know. You could go to Organic Sea Moss at Organic Sea Moss on Instagram. Let's get to the next topic, you know. Next topic, gang violence. Gang violence. One of my good friends called me like about 2 months ago, and he told me like he works with the community, and so what he told me was there's a specific jail downtown Seattle, and so he said about a few years ago there was the population of Somalis incarcerated wasn't a lot, but he said now that he went back, I think 6 months ago, he said that the population has tripled now. You know what I'm saying? And I try to go online and find, you know, the exact percentage or number for Somalis that are incarcerated, but I guess it just puts all the African American people of color together. East Africans, they mix them all together, so we don't have an accurate number, but I know there's a lot of brothers behind bars right now, especially young brothers, you know what I'm saying, all in jail for some that, you know, they weren't being themselves. You know, they thought that person was cool, or this person, you know, was the go-to man, and, you know, we get caught up in these traps, you know, at a young age. And so speak on that, bro.
Gang violence, man.
Speak on gang violence, bro. Speak on the consequences of, you know, murder. You know what I mean?
Man, is
on murder,
severe, you know, very severe. And a lot of people don't understand a gang is a family, you know, and what makes a gang a family is the fact that you couldn't get the love at the house. You couldn't get the love from your family at the end of the day. And next you know, I'm looking at the next homie who's your equal,
right,
the same age as you. Now he's the one steering you, talking about, let's get it, man. Let's go do this drill. Let's go rob this house. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. And it's so easy to follow him because there's nothing to go back to, you know?
Right.
And that's how gangs started at first. Gangs at first started, the Crips and the Bloods, they started out as a community organization.
They did, yep.
And then next, it led to gang violence because one of the friends got dropped. Right. And one of the friends got dropped, now it became an eye for an eye. Next, one drops, two drops, three. Next, you got 200, 300 people dying, and it's like, is it really worth it? And what's making these guys feel so heartless is the music videos. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You look at every rapper nowadays, he's talking about how he wants to, especially drill music. Chicago drill music. Stay talking about dropping cats. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I done got a, I done got a body. It's like, they're talking about like they got an 800 credit score. You know what I'm saying? They don't. And it's not really benefiting you nothing.
That shit ain't cool, man.
And you killed a brother. You know what I'm saying? And it's like a life that could have been productive member of society that could have actually saved you. You never know that guy would have been a doctor. You never know. He could have been the doctor, the guy that's in the ambulance over here, what's it called? Bring you back to life and shit.
Right.
You never know.
Right.
And he's gone now.
Right.
What they say is, what gets these guys to feel so confident and so heartless, once again, goes back to the drugs.
Absolutely.
If I intoxicated,
right,
I can go on a murder spree and nobody's going to tell me nothing.
Because you're numb. You're numb to
once it's said and done.
You have no emotions.
Once it's said and done, I'll sober up. I got how many cases on me? And I can guarantee most of those guys didn't do it sober.
You're looking at football numbers, bro.
Football numbers, 25 to life. Man. Some of them are doing life sentences.
Right.
If it's intentional and it's premeditated, it's a wrap. You're not coming out. It's not. You're not coming out.
Yeah.
And you're lucky. There's no electric chair. There's no lethal injection in some states. It's like some of them want it. It's like, let's get them out there. What's it called? And you know why they're doing it?
Right.
Because some of them are like, hey, he's a dangerous dude. We can't let him live. Because people outside is like, yo, this guy is too much. But the prison systems want you to live. What? Right. $60,000 to $70,000 for every open cell is our taxpayer paying. The privatized prison is money. It's money. Like everything's a business, right, and it's they had the chain gang for what? Looking back at history. Right. They abolished slavery. They're like, yo, man, how are we going to get these guys to do labor?
Right.
So they started doing, hey, man, if we get them to be the warden of the state, now we can do them same things we're doing.
Right.
And it's a lot easier because it's legal.
Absolutely.
And then from then on,
you work for 30 cents an hour?
Yeah, Washington State is known for making license plates.
You can make $15 an hour working out a regular job, but
a KFC,
right,
making fried chicken. You can go to McDonald's flipping burgers.
Right.
You could work at Till, at a Sears, and
right,
make money, and you get to walk out the door, spend the money, enjoy it, get to the movie theaters, and guess what? You got money in your pocket to go travel the world. You can go do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But once you go into that 8x10,
yeah,
and you already made the decision to do the crime, you got to suffer the consequences. It's simple. There's no turning back because once that javelin hits,
right,
people break. Mm-hmm. The most street hood cat you probably see, the most ruthless guy you didn't seen, the guy that's the biggest musclehead you probably seen will break down because he knows it's over.
It's over, right? There's no honor, bro. I see a lot of young guys like. They think following like these street codes, like there's no honor in that. You don't win, bro. You don't win at all. And I hate to lose. You know what I'm saying? So for all the young guys watching this right now, you could do a lot in life. Literally a lot. There's way more to life than drugs. You know what I'm saying? There's way more to life than killing somebody. You know what I mean? And when you kill somebody, just know you have to stand on that. You know what I'm saying? And the people that was driving you in that car while you did it, they're gonna testify on you. They're gonna be in court testifying on you. For real. You know what I mean? There's no honor in killing nobody. You know what I mean?
A lot of kids didn't get off their stoop and go outside. Like when I was growing up, I was riding my bike. I was at the park, I was playing basketball, I was playing soccer, whatever. We were playing flag football. We were doing anything and everything to be outside the house.
Right.
Now you got guys that have been in the house the whole time. They show up outside and there's that ruthless kid at the end of the day. And now he got to fight him. And when he beats him up a couple of times, he never knew how to fight.
Right.
He never stood up for himself because he never had to worry about that stuff, And now he has that fuel and that fire in his stomach. Like, I got to get this guy back.
Right, right.
Some of them got beat to a pulp, and they're like, I have to pick up a gun. I have to pick up a gun because I'm 110 pounds.
Right.
These hands don't work. You know what I'm saying? I done got beat up a couple of times.
Right.
And He's going to keep on bullying me. Now everybody laughs at me, and now their ego, like I'm a man.
Right.
Our ego gets the best of us, fam. Like, I know it does, because I was growing up, I had my ego get the best of me. And if I were going to die or go to jail, it was my ego that was going to put me there first.
Facts.
There's no way I was going to allow this dude to get ahead of me. You're not going to get the upper hand. You cannot get the upper hand. And some people take that as fuel, as in, hey, okay, I'm going to take boxing classes. I'm going to learn how to fight. I'm going to beat this guy up. And some are like, yo, man, my uncle got a gun in his closet. That's how school shooters are made. Verbal bullying. Verbal. Nowadays, verbal is an issue. Right. Not you getting beat up. Verbal. Like, you just said a couple of words. My man is on suicide thoughts. He wants to come back and shoot up the school. And it's that severe now. And when I was growing up, we got called African booty scratcher. I eat mud cakes. I eat all this other stuff. And it was all jokes because I didn't take it to the heart. You know what I'm saying? Right. I know it's not real.
Everybody got called that.
Exactly. It was all fun and games to these guys because they didn't know any better, you know?
Yeah.
And when you don't know any better, you think everything is truth. You know, and it's like, and a lot of people believe those truths because how many people are laughing at them? Like everybody in the stands is laughing at them. Right. When you get laughed at by everybody, you start to believe it.
Right.
And when you believe it, you become ruthless because then now I have to make everybody an example.
Right.
How do you get that example?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's the worst way.
I heard somebody say before, it's usually the people that get pushed to people that get pushed against the wall that turn out to be the most dangerous people, aka the punks are the killers. You heard something like that before?
Yes, it does turn out like that. Like, look at all the school shooters.
Right.
Do they look like people that?
No, they look.
They have it in them to do something like that.
Nah.
Do they look like they could plan something like that? Like, you have to plan. Everything comes down to planning.
They look a little weird, but like I don't think they look dangerous. So
planning, fam. Yeah. They're dangerous because they plan. A person that plans is the most dangerous person you could worry about. You know why?
Right. Yeah.
He sat there, literally every little step calculated.
Right.
I'm going to do it like this because it's going to work like this, and I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this. Next, you know, he has the whole plan. He's setting up in motion.
Right. So how can we change the narrative from killing to resolving issues, bro?
Like you said, man, you need to be having more people to guide. Like, how are you going to guide if you're not an example I want to be? Like, growing up, I didn't have people I could look over and say, hey, I want to be like this guy when I grow up. Inspire me to get up every morning.
There was the older guys were there. You know,
you're there, but then you want to be like them?
Some of them were cool. Like, you know, I looked up to a few of them, you know, and it kind of helped me in a way because, you know, they kind of like was around. They helped me, you know, like we hung out. We went to the mosque together. We did a lot of activities together. So that energy vibration just kind of rubbed off on me. You know, a lot of them, you know, they're doing really good right now, mashallah, you know. And so I think, like, yeah, go ahead.
It all comes down to inspiration, man. Mm-hmm. Like, how did LeBron James get up and be like, I'm going to be in the NBA. I'm going to be a first pick. I'm going to be an NBA champion. How did he get that motivation? Where did it come from? He had people around him saying, hey, it's possible. It's possible. My little brothers are D1 athletes. You know, like, both of my brothers got basketball scholarships. And it's like, it didn't come easy.
Shout out.
I kept telling them every single day. But I got a little brother that plays at Tennessee State, Yusuf Muhammad. And another little brother named Abdul Muhammad plays at Eastern Washington.
Shout out Abdul.
Yeah, so it's like all this, it came planning. I put him in basketball third grade and fourth grade. And I told my mom, I never got the opportunity to play basketball because I was over here looking out for the family. I was making sure I was pulling my weight for the rest of the household. And if I'm not doing it, who's going to do it?
Right.
You know, so I was like, okay, man, I'll do it. I know how the system works. I know what these guys are getting. I know how they're doing it. And nobody's going to step my brothers and tell them, hey, you guys can't do it. I was their greatest motivator from the jump. I was their hype man. I'm first clapping, yelling. I was sleeping on hotel floors for them. I was doing all that. Why? Because I had faith in them. When you have somebody that has faith in you, you get up. You would get up and say, hey,
facts.
You got this, my guy. Get up, man. What are you sleeping? Right. Sleep is for the weak, man. Get up.
Right.
You're going to sleep on your dreams. What they say? They said you can make memories or you can make your future.
Right.
You can make memories. Everybody knows how to make memories. But bam, you wake up, you're 50 years old, and you're like, remember when I used to do all that? That doesn't have no equity. What does it do?
That's facts, bro.
You know?
Time flies, man.
It's
time
flying.
Flies.
I feel like I just graduated high school.
Bros, hey, young brothers watching this, if you're between 15 and 21, just know that time is going to fly. I swear to God. You guys might be looking at, on social media, hanging out, kicking it, whatever. Before you know, you turn 18. Once you get out of high school, life is gonna fly. You know what I'm saying?
Reality hits.
Before you know it, you're 30 and 40. I swear to God. So because you can't get time back.
You can get money back.
You can never get time back. Don't waste your time, bro. And don't let nobody peer pressure you, man. You know what I mean?
Opportunity presents itself once. You know when they say chance is champions. Chance, champion.
Right.
Everything's chance. Take an opportunity, and you got two choices in life. What is your choices?
Right.
One decision away from success.
Right.
One decision away from failure. Like we're saying, what gets them to go to jail? What gets them to? It's one decision. Everything is one decision.
Yeah, I was watching this podcast, $1 Million Worth of Game. Gillian
Yeah,
Wallow.
Gilly.
Yeah. So Wallow, I think he put out there was an episode like a few days or yesterday that came out. And he said a decision he made in 5 minutes cost him 26 years.
26 years.
26 years. And it only took 5 minutes to create that.
He's cooking for 26 years.
26 years, yeah. That's crazy, bro. Think about it. About it.
I had an OG really say to me, he goes, you can stunt for 4 and cook for a lifetime, or you can grind it out for 4 and stunt for a lifetime. Literally, stunt for a lifetime. And
Was he a rapper?
No, it was just telling
bars.
Everybody sees it as bars because then there's cats that know how to give you metaphors for you to understand. Like I could come in here, be all sophisticated and talk like a professor, and and then you're looking at these guys are square. Look at him, he's trying to tell me stuff. Like, what is he talking about? I don't even relate to this guy.
Right.
And there's a guy like that coming over here talking about, yo, listen, school. What is school? It's 4 years.
Right.
You can stunt for 4 and cook for a lifetime because you was over here doing dumb stuff.
Right.
Or grind out for 4 and stunt for a lifetime because you're getting a 401k, you're getting a job, you're a business owner. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got opportunity.
Right. And let me say something real quick. So we're talking about school, right? So I feel like, like just for any young guy watching, like if you don't like school, if you don't, I support schooling, I support education, but I understand also that it's not for everybody, so there's a lot of different avenues. You could go to trade school, you could become a barber, you know what I mean, electrician. You don't want to do 4 years, you could get your CDL, become a truck driver, entrepreneur, you know what I'm saying? You could get IT certification, join a boot camp, become a web developer, or cybersecurity expert. It's so many different things like this because now we move from an industrial to information age now, where everything's going digital.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So you don't need to spend 4 years in school. You can take online classes and get certified online and just get a job and you're good to go. So
it's risk, man.
If you don't like school and school's not your thing, there's different avenues.
Always being circulated, and it's money's gonna always be made. Money's owed, or you're giving a check to take a check. You could give a check or take a check.
Right.
Regardless of the situation, you're making money.
Right.
I'm helping you. If I give you a job,
right,
I'm helping you make some money, or I'm taking a check and I'm satisfied because I'm taking care of my family. I'm getting my 401k. I'm getting my pension. I'm getting my health care. I'm getting everything. I'm blessed. So it's like you can't get discouraged because other people are doing more than you, and that's the thing about life. Everybody has their pace, and it's not a race. Everybody
no, it's not.
has their pace, and you look at your friend, oh man, he got his master's already. And it's like, man, what have I been doing in my life? I just sit back and be like, how did he get his master's? I was just in school with him, I was just in school with him.
Right.
And they get discouraged.
Everybody's journey.
They get depressed. They get mad. You can't get mad at yourself. You got to get up and say, hey, listen, that was his lane. My lane is over here. We're going to get to the same destination. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to put my head down. I'm going to get to my destination. It's simple.
Right. Dope, man. I appreciate you sharing that information with the young brothers. And so let's get into it, man. What community resources are available? I know you got a list.
I got a plethora of community resources, man.
So what community resources are available to help with the current crisis?
So if you're talking about drugs and everything, there's Sound Mental Health, and they deal with primary care, which is physical, wellness checks, and women care, counseling, addiction treatment for children and teens and adults. They deal with psychiatric, services, grief, loss, depression, anxiety, and support system. They have a support system in that same program. They deal with housing, services for disabilities, and vocational, like you were speaking about, vocational programs. and there's Seattle Youth Violence Prevention Initiative, and they deal with employment. You know, they deal with food programs within the communities. You know,
And before we get out of here, my bro Stretch. Before we get out of here, what is one advice that you have for the young brothers out there between the ages of 15 and 21? What's one advice you got for them?
Diversify your circle, man. That's number one. Diversify your circle. Why? Because if you stay with the same stack,
what he's saying is, if you have 5 friends, right? Make sure out of 5 of them, there's maybe 1 or 2 that's about that life, and the 3 got to be straight.
Yeah, when you diversify your friends, you see different perspectives.
Right. Absolutely, man. Appreciate you sharing all this information and giving the young brothers, inspiration. I just want to close by thanking all the viewers out there, and we really trying to make an impact in our communities, because we come from this. You know what I mean? We weren't born here, but we came here as kids. So technically,
I was born here, brother.
You were born here.
I was born here.
I got a couple years on you, so yeah. So it's all about because think about it, like when we're younger, we always looked up to the older guys. You know what I mean? And they didn't really have a platform like this, but they led by actions. You know what I'm saying? So I know a lot of honorable guys. There's too many of them to name, and they led by actions. And so now the whole world has changed. Everything's different now. You know what I mean? Everything is on a digital scale now. So that's why we're creating this platform, because we want to give back to our communities. You know what I mean? By inspiring and giving information to these guys that we didn't have growing up. You know what I'm saying? So I want to thank you guys again for watching this, and you can follow us on Instagram at the Pure Pure Advocates, the Pure Advocates. And if you are looking for CMOS, follow at Organic CMOS on Instagram, and or you can DM us on this page. And yeah, that's what it is.